Hey everyone, how you doing? This is DJ Sanakori, aka Taino Sagrado, aka your brother Bomatum. Thank you for tuning in and downloading this show. Wherever you may be, Turtle Island, South America, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, England, Ireland, Canada, Hawaii, the Caribbean, wherever you are, and all those countries that I name, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. I saw the statistics, the analytics tell me that, yeah, even in Korea, they're tuning in to Taino Radio. So man, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Wow, where do I start? Well, I'm going to start a new series called I Am Zemi. Historically, the first peoples that came to the Caribbean, it all started in 1492. Now we think of the horrors, we think of the scandals that Christopher Columbus stirred, cooked, and served to the indigenous peoples, my ancestors, and also to the African people who were forced to come to the Americas or forced to come to the Caribbean to work the mines, to work the gold mines, to serve food to their owners because they were property. We think of the indigenous Taino, indigenous Caribbean people who for thousands of years living on the islands, as far as 8,000 years, settled on the islands with different styles, different recipes, different belief systems, all rooted on the earth. All of a sudden, these invaders come and destroy what was built 8,000 years, little by little, was desecrated, decimated, but not exterminated. I want you to reflect on what is a Cemi. I am a Cemi. Now I just want to give you a brief understanding what I think a Cemi is. A Cemi is a mask. A Cemi is a face that contains a power beyond human consciousness. It's something greater than myself that for some crazy reason I was able to understand. There's different religions and different belief systems that have names for this incredible and crazy understanding that there is a creator, an understanding that there is something beyond myself that somehow created this Mother Earth, created the cosmos. Where did it all come from? What is a Cemi? Spelled Z-E-M-I or C-E-M-I. A sacred spirit beyond what we call human, beyond what we call nature. It's a spirit that we can't create in a lab. We can't create in a piece of paper. We can try different depictions, give an artist some paint and paper, and they will do an amazing job. Give it to a Behike or a Babala, and they will create amazing ceremonies. Well, here's the thing. What is a Cemi? What is something that's greater than I. I'd like to offer a blessing to that ambulance and its paramedics who are rushing to help someone or others. The alarm was sound so we can get out the way. I don't live too far from Clement Presbyterian Hospital, where many people go to address physical problems and for many mental problems. So we offer positive energy to all those people who help 24 hours, 7 days. So I pray that ambulance and those paramedics were able to help someone or others. So let me get back to this. What is a Cemi? A Cemi is a power, is a force that, believe it or not, we're able to understand. We may not have a full knowledge of the essence of a Cemi, but our ancestors, they looked at nature and they said, this is something greater than myself, than us, because we can't reproduce this. It is what it is. It is. And it gives us inspiration. It gives us hope. When the storm comes, when the hurricanes come with its destructive power, there is a belief that this too will pass. What is a Cemi? When the sun comes up in the morning and we feel the warmth of the rays, this is something that we cannot create in a lab. This is something we just... Yes, we can try to create nuclear fusion and create incredible explosions, but we still can't create a sun. We can't create a planet. We can't create dark matter. Well, here's the thing. What is a Cemi? What is the sacred? What is that beyond myself? Well, our ancestors, they grappled this and they created amazing ceremonies to try to understand and try to experience this power of something greater than the self, than the tribe, than the people. And they understood that this sacred energy, this power that cannot be created, can be experienced and it can be shared. So when our ancestors spoke to the wood, spoke to the stone, spoke to the seashell, they were able to reproduce in a very finite way. This is true power that we can experience. Now, understanding is not knowledge, but it's one of the steps. What do? We experience emotions, thoughts. We feel, we touch, we kiss, we hug, we eat. We feel, we sense, and then we recreate it somehow. Human beings love to recreate. This is what movies are about. This is what music is about, because of those vibrations that gives us hope. What is a Cemi? A Cemi is a sacred being that gives us hope. It's a reflection of the ultimate reality that we cannot create in a lab. We can't create in a beach. But this is what we can do. we can experience his power as human beings. So if there is a creator that our ancestors had many faces for, there were 12 in particular that the Spanish were curious about. Through the direction of Christopher Columbus, he wanted to know, who is their God? If they are humans, they must have a concept of God. Now, if they're animals, we can control them. And the best way to control the animal is to understand and to know what gives them life. So once we figure out what gives them life, I can control their lifestyle. I can control their destiny by stripping them, controlling it, and then telling them, hey, look what I have. Now I control it. For you to live, you must ask me. Or worse, when I feel good and ready, I will give it to you. That's tough. That's some tough thoughts and feelings. So here it is. What is a Cemi? What is a Cemi? A sacred being that contains power far from my capacity to recreate it, but yet it's alive. A power that can be somehow created through symbol, through raw materials. And it's just this very, very action that gives us hope to figure out, how can we live with this power? Now, many medicine people throughout thousands of years have taken that plant and this plant, this root, this earth, and were able successfully to heal and even cure diseases. Amazing. We know in nature where there's poison ivy, which can cause tremendous harm and discomfort, but then there's jewelweed right next to it. That's the cure. There is harmony in this world that we cannot recreate in the lab, but we can sure experience it through music, through laughter, through art, through ceremonies. What is a Cemi? A Cemi is a sacred being way beyond our powers. But for some crazy reason, we can take that power. Maybe not all the power, but we can take that power and we can store it in wood, stone, shells. And that power can inspire us to live. It gives us the inspiration to take a seed and to grow it on the earth. And that very seed will grow through various seasons of the year. And it will give me life, will give my partner life, will give my children life. And what do we do with this power? What do we do with this Cemi? We honor it. We start building houses for it. We start creating ceremonies for it. Some people even will sacrifice their time away from family to make sure it's safeguarded. So what is a Cemi? A Cemi is a sacred being that contains power that somehow as human beings we're able to understand. We may not have full knowledge of it, but at least we can sense it. We can feel it. And we can translate that into our common lifestyle. What is a Cemi? Right now in the world, a Cemi can cost $5,000, $10,000, $500, $50,000, $200,000. Our ancestors were amazing artists. They were able to reproduce somehow this vision, this power, and inspire generations. So once Christopher Columbus learned of this belief system, he was able to manipulate and control it, and for many, many nasty reasons, he destroyed many of these physical Cemis. But there's one thing he couldn't figure out: how to destroy its power. Well, guess what? He couldn't figure that one out. People still trying to figure out, how do I control this power that's beyond myself? Well, guess what? You can't. You can burn a wooden Baibrama. You can break to different pieces of Guavansesh, but you really can't destroy it. Because when you break it down, it's a sacred being way beyond our human capacity to create. We can create a physical substance that we can honor, we can protect. There's plenty of museums that contain these Cemis because they were well made and strong and sturdy. But can we control the power of these Cemis? So what is a Cemi? A Cemi is a sacred being beyond our human consciousness that for some crazy reason we can have an understanding, we can feel it, touch it, sense it, smell it, honor it, protect it. And if it's destroyed, the power continues to a new generation of Caribbean indigenous. So I want you to look at this. I want you to focus on what I'm about to say. What is a Cemi? I am a Cemi. I am a Cemi. No one, even the smartest scientists in the world, with all the technology to their disposal, they cannot create me. They cannot recreate me. You can make a statue, you can make a poster, but you cannot create the essence that is DJ Sanakori. And whoever is listening to this show, I can't create you. Others can't create you. And for some reason, if there's any technology out there that can clone people, they can't clone the power that's in you. You know why? You are a Cemi. I'm going to hit you back soon, and I'm going to break this down, okay? The next show is going to be dedicated to how am I a Cemi? How am I a sacred being? Let's stay in touch, and I'll be back soon. How in the world am I a sacred being? A power greater than myself. Whoa, kama, oh kama, yokahu, wama, oh kama, atabe, suimako mamuna, Yokahu, wama. Bomatung, thank you for downloading the show. I'll speak to you soon. Wherever you are, remember, you are a Zemi.